You've probably heard of imps, fairies, and vampires. But for every well-known monster that's made its way into movies and stories, there are a frightening amount of others. Buried in forgotten folklore, whispered in the most remote corners of the world. These are mythical creatures so eerie, so disturbing, that even history itself seems to want to forget them. Have you made an encounter in your life? Let us know in the comments and watch until the end to find out about the most disturbing one. The Mapinguari, the guardian of the rainforest. In the depths of the Amazon, hunters whisper about a beast they call the Mapinguari. It walks upright like a man, covered in thick red hair and reeks of rotting meat. Its mouth is wide open, lined with yellowed fangs, and giant eyes stares from its forehead. It screams so loudly, the jungle falls silent. Some believe it was once a shaman who offended the spirits of the forest and was cursed into a monstrous form. Now it roams the rainforest, punishing anyone who takes more than they need. Bullets can't harm it. The skin of the Mapinguari is said to be as tough as stone. Those who meet it rarely return, and if they do, they come back blind from the sight of its eyes. The Tiyanak, the crying baby demon. In the Philippines, travelers are warned never to follow the sound of a crying baby at night. The reason is the Tiyanak, a creature that mimics an infant's cry to lure its victims. When someone picks it up, it transforms into a small, sharp-toothed demon and tears into their flesh. Some say the Tiyanak is the spirit of an unbaptized child, trapped between life and death. Others say it's a forest demon that learned the sound of human grief. Either way, if you hear a baby crying in the woods and no one's there, keep walking. Because sometimes, mercy is the last thing a monster deserves. The Dullahan, the headless rider of Ireland. From Irish folklore comes a spectre that rides on a black horse, carrying its own head beneath one arm. The Dullahan's decaying face grins with rows of rotting teeth, and its eyes glow like candles in the dark. Wherever it stops, life ends. It rides only at night, using a human spine as a whip. When it speaks a person's name, that person perishes instantly. No gate, lock, or wall can stop it. The only thing that can drive it away is gold. Not because it loves wealth, but because it despises purity. When you hear hooves echoing in the distance and the air grows cold, it's best not to look behind you. The skinwalkers, the shapeshifters of the desert. Among the Navajo people, there are stories of witches who can wear the skins of animals and become them. They are called skinwalkers. They move on all fours with unnatural speed, their eyes glowing even in total darkness. They can imitate voices, the cries of loved ones, the sound of someone calling your name. Those who talk about them too much are said to draw their attention. Even today, people in the American Southwest refuse to whistle at night for fear of what might answer back. A skinwalker is not just a creature, it's a warning about what happens when power and cruelty become one. The Kelpies, the water horses of Scotland. Beautiful and strong, the Kelpies wait by rivers and lochs, appearing as sleek black horses. They tempt travelers to ride them, but once you climb on their back, your hands stick to their wet skin, and you realize too late, you can't get off. The Kelpie then charges into the water, dragging its victim beneath the surface to drown. By morning, only the heart or liver is left floating on the riverbank. Legends say the Kelpies can also take human form, often as dark-haired strangers with dripping clothes and haunting smiles. If you meet someone by the water who seems too perfect, remember, beauty hides the deepest traps. The Churls, the hungry women of India. In rural India, there are tales of women who died unjustly, in childbirth, betrayal, or abuse, returning as the Churls. They appear as young, beautiful women to lure men away, but once alone, their faces twist backward, their tongues lengthen, and their eyes turn black. They drain the life from their victims, leaving them old and withered overnight. Villagers believed they lived near graveyards or old wells, emerging during full moons. Sometimes they cry like widows, sometimes they laugh like children. To hear either sound means one thing: you're already too close. The Ogopogo, the lake monster of Canada. In the cold waters of British Columbia's Okanagan Lake, there is said to live a creature called the Ogopogo. Serpent-like, with a head like a horse and a long-scaled body, it has been sighted for centuries. Some say it's a prehistoric beast that survived extinction. Others claim it's the vengeful spirit of an ancient sacrifice. According to legend, long ago, people offered animals to the lake before crossing, to keep the monster from attacking their boats. Those who forget the old ways sometimes disappear without a trace. The water remembers, even if people don't. The Alp Luachra, the eel spirit of Ireland. There's a strange creature in Irish folklore known as the Alp Luachra, the joint eater. It doesn't attack or bite. Instead, it crawls into a person's mouth while they sleep beside a river, slipping down their throat like a thin eel. Once inside, it feeds on every morsel the victim eats, slowly starving them without leaving a mark. Victims grow pale and weak, doctors baffled, until they waste away entirely. The only cure is to eat salted meat beside a running stream, to make the creature thirsty enough to escape. Every hunger that cannot be satisfied might just be something else eating with you. The Popobawa, the night terror of Zanzibar. In the 1970s, a wave of fear spread through the islands of Zanzibar and Pemba. People claimed a creature called the Popobawa was attacking them in the night. It was said to have large bat-like wings, a single glowing eye, and the strength to crush doors. Those who didn't believe or mocked the stories were often the next to be visited. The attacks were so terrifying that whole communities began sleeping outside in groups, with fires burning all night. Some say it's a spirit that appears whenever people stop respecting the unseen world. Others believe it was never a ghost at all, but something far worse pretending to be one. The La Llorona, the weeping woman. She wanders near rivers and lakes, her white dress soaked, her hair covering her face. She weeps for her lost children, the ones she drowned in a fit of madness. Now she searches endlessly, crying, "Ay, mis hijos." Those who hear her cry are doomed to misfortune or to leave the earth. If she sounds far away, she's near. If she sounds close, she's right behind you. Parents once told this story to keep children away from the river at night, but some say they've seen her still, weeping by the water's edge, waiting for the living to join her grief. The Tatzelwurm, the alpine dragon. In the mountains of Austria and Switzerland lives a creature few have seen and lived to tell about. The Tatzelwurm, half cat, half serpent. It's said to hiss like steam and breathe poison. Shepherds spoke of finding livestock dead with no wounds, just the smell of sulfur in the air. Its body is short, thick, and covered in scales, with clawed forearms and a feline head. It hides in caves during the day and hunts in fog. Some believe it's the remnant of an ancient dragon species. Others say it's the mountain's guardian, protecting something deep beneath the earth. The Impundulu, the lightning bird. In South African legend, storms are alive. The Impundulu, or lightning bird, rides within thunderclouds, summoning lightning with the beat of its wings. It can take the form of a beautiful man or woman to seduce humans, but its true form is a giant bird with feathers that crackle with electricity. It feeds on blood and serves witches as a familiar, delivering storms and destruction on command. If lightning strikes the same place twice, locals say the Impundulu has marked its next meal. You can't outrun thunder, and you can't escape a creature born from it. The Bukavac, the six-legged lake demon. From Serbian folklore comes a monster called the Bukavac. It lives in murky lakes and rivers, covered in slime, with 6 legs and long horns. At night, it crawls onto land, making a deafening bellow that echoes for miles. It strangles livestock, crushes fishermen's boats, and drags people underwater. Some claim it attacks only those who disturb its waters. Others think it's drawn to anger, feeding on violence itself. When the surface of a lake ripples on a windless night, it might not be the breeze. It might be the Bukavac rising to breathe. The Nachtzehrer, the eater of the perished. In old German folklore, there was a kind of vampire called the Nachtzehrer, the after-devourer. When a person perished from a plague, it was believed their corpse could awaken in the grave and begin eating its own body. As it consumed itself, it drew life from the living, spreading disease through the village. Gravediggers claimed to hear chewing beneath the soil. To stop it, they would dig up the body and place a stone or coin in its mouth. It wasn't to pay the deceased, it was to keep them from eating. Some horrors don't crawl out of the grave, they eat their way out. The world hides its monsters well. They live in the cracks between belief and fear, waiting for silence to fall so their stories can breathe again. Every culture, every country, every people has its shadows. And sometimes the oldest stories are the ones still whispering behind you when the lights go out. Either way, when the night grows quiet and the air feels heavy, remember, legends don't die. They just wait for someone to start believing again. Subscribe for more eerie tales.